Alright, well, a couple of days off, but this is going to be comic 4. Now, the thing is, I was going to try to do one of these every day, and of course, when I say every day, what I mean is Monday to Friday, because I won't bother on the weekends, because that's ridiculous. Only crazy people update things on the weekends. So we'll go back to my British roots, the inventors of the weekend, and just say nothing on weekends. Anyway, comic 4. In fact, this one is actually labeled properly because Comic 3 was accidentally labeled Comic 2 in the beginning, and I did add a little annotation after that because I didn't feel like redoing the entire thing. So I like to record my mistakes for the most part, except for really large spelling errors. There are quite a few mistakes all through the comic. You'll probably see quite a lot. I don't remember how many of them I did fix, because every now and then I did fix a really blatant spelling error. I think one of my favorite ones I ever did was when I said that someone had spelled something wrong, and instead of using the word spelled, spelled, I said spelt as the past tense of spell. It was pretty embarrassing. Anyway, comic 4. Let's see what we got here. Thanks for getting me out of tossing garbage in the alley. Okay, so this is the follow up of Jeff actually promoting Kenny to do something other than just tying up garbage bags. So he's now sort of in there apparently dealing with customer service. And this was, I mean, I've spent a long time in customer service, so this, I suppose, was pretty personal for me, just dealing with what you have to deal with in customer service. It's also my first attempt at drawing a cash register. Look at that. It's just that's quite a weird shape. I'm kind of proud of my three-dimensional drawing. In fact, I took an art class. It wasn't really much of a course or anything like that. It was just sort of a non-professional, just kind of an amateur, hey, come out and draw class. And I went with my mother, actually. I must have been around 10 or 11. And the things that I learned there, as well as some other things that I learned in high school, those I still think are correct. So I sort of learned different vanishing points in three-dimensional and shading, and I didn't actually learn why or how. I just learned a couple of examples, so I just keep reusing those examples, and that's how I draw. Uh, so the second one, that is obviously just random customer complaining. The thing with the random people, and especially new characters, is I always decided that in order, since my drawing style was so similar, I couldn't draw different facial expressions or different faces. Everyone pretty much had the same face and body shape because I wasn't that good. The best thing to do was to just change everyone's haircuts. And when I ran out of haircuts, what I did was with a lot of characters, I just made some of them visibly taller or shorter. Anyway, so there's a rando right there. They just haven't, and I don't. I've been saying I can have you fired. He's obviously the power user, the most stereotypical awful person to deal with in customer service industry. So there's Kenny with the punchline, and it's kind of a dual punchline there because the humor of the situation is he's happy to be out, but then he instantly realizes as soon as he's out of garbage duty that he doesn't like dealing with people. And then Jeff with the double punchline, bringing it all back to fake butter, accepting it as payments. And there's me getting away with the fact that I can't draw hands. Look at that. There's 6 people drawings in there, and only one of them has hands. Kenny seems to have his hands in his pockets, and Jeff's are behind his back. You see how I can tell that? It's because when you're drawing the pants, there in the third panel, Kenny's pants have sort of a trapezoid at the top of the hips because that's his hands going into those pockets because they're pulled away like that. Whereas Jeff's hands, the arms disappear behind a straight hip. You see that? Methodology. But then if you go back to the first one at a distance, you can see how I did it, where I just went neck and I drew kind of an egg type shape, or just sort of a wide baseball bat type thing, where it's just a straight line from, well, not a straight line, but a one single line from Kenny's neck down to his feet. Feet are the other things I can't draw. I'm just no good at appendages. And the only other thing there I notice is that Kenny seems to be leaning again, but then again, I'd draw these sort of looking down at a paper, and when I was a kid, my script writing would always lean a little bit to the right. Maybe that's why I italicized everything, all the text. Oh, I can't wait until this awful text goes away. I'm sure it's in the next few comics, so hopefully this week we'll get into the text looking like something not coming out of the back of a truck. I don't even know what that means. Why would a truck carry around text? The text truck. No deliveries on the weekends. It's just like me. Anyway, moving on to the next. Moving on to comic number 5.